Hi there, this is Jenny Walker from DigiGoods and Printables ELA. Welcome to Argumentative Essay Writing, Segment 14. This is where we will break down the sample essay that you practiced earlier. If you found this video from YouTube, you can find a link to the workshop in the description. Okay, let's take a look at the essay that you highlighted in the earlier segment. And we're going to look at it all broken down into pieces and discuss each piece of the essay. So first we have the hook. For this hook, I chose to use a thought-provoking question. One of the biggest concerns in schools today is declining academic achievement. Another grave concern is students being harassed and harmed by other students. But what if one simple solution could address both concerns? And for my background information, this background information addresses the current situation and who is affected. Currently, in the United States, students are being bullied at an alarming rate. Nearly 1 in 4 students claim they have been verbally or physically abused by another student. Not surprisingly, a likely consequence of this pattern is that these victims often become underachievers academically. And I chose to put my counter-argument or counterclaim in the first paragraph because personally, I think it's more effective to acknowledge the opponent's viewpoint so that I can immediately dispel any of their argument. Opponents of school uniforms argue that requiring students to wear them infringes on their freedom and stifles individuality. This is ridiculous, considering most students tend to dress like their peers anyway. Also, there are many outlets for students to express their creativity. They can feed their creative desires in art class, music class, or just about anything else they choose to do. The benefits far outweigh these slight inconveniences. So see, I like to get that out right in the beginning of the essay. And then my thesis statement. This is where I tell my reader exactly what I am claiming and how I plan to argue it in the rest of the essay. School uniforms have been shown to improve academic achievement in students and also help to alleviate bullying. Therefore, all public schools should take the smart route and require students to wear them. So that's paragraph 1. Let's take a closer look at how I broke my thesis down into topic sentences. School uniforms have been shown to improve academic achievement in students and also help alleviate bullying. So I took those reasons, improvement in academic achievement and alleviating bullying, and I created topic sentences for my body paragraph. So here's the topic sentence for body paragraph 1 that goes with my first reason. Here's my topic sentence for body paragraph 2 that goes along with my second reason in blue. So here is body paragraph 2 all broken down. These are not necessarily the colors that you used, but let's look at them. In this sample, the topic sentence is red, and the evidence is blue, and the elaboration is green. Okay, so the need for students to be high achievers and academically sound cannot be overstressed. Here's some elaboration. Those who do not do well in school are more likely to drop out without graduating, and if that happens, they are at a greater risk for all sorts of negative things, such as drug abuse, addiction, alcoholism, and to name a few. And then here's a transition, according to Russell Rumberg, professor at University of California. And here is my evidence in quotation marks. Dropping out is more of a process than an event, a process that for some students begins early elementary school. Poor academic achievement as early elementary as early as elementary school is one of the strongest predictors of dropping out. And now here I'm going to elaborate on that evidence a little bit more. This is my own words, my own thoughts. This is a sad situation for the United States, especially during or considering that there are solutions that are readily available. And then more evidence. Studies show that schools that enforce school uniforms have a student performance rate of 26% higher than those that do not. And then I elaborate further on that evidence. This is a striking statistic considering that means thousands of students are benefiting from them. There are also other benefits to school uniforms. We didn't really discuss this, but this is a transition that leads me into my next paragraph. By saying there are other benefits, I'm transitioning into the idea that I'm going to present another benefit. And this is body paragraph 3. Topic sentence. Bullying has the potential to ruin the education of thousands of victims. Here's some elaboration. But many instances of bullying can be reduced or stopped altogether if clothing differences were taken out of the equation. Some gang-related violence had been reported to have begun over clothing disputes. Evidence. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, within 1 year after the implementation of school uniform, fights and muggings at many schools decreased by 50%, while sexual offenses were reduced by 74%. And then clearly is actually a transition. Here's my elaboration. Clearly, these statistics prove the needs and benefits to rethinking school clothing altogether. Wouldn't a simple and relatively affordable solution be worth looking into if it could protect the health and education of many students? And then finally, we have our conclusion paragraph. And I used the thesis to construct it, and I used key points from my body paragraphs. And here's this. With all of the convincing evidence that proves the benefits to students in the form of better grades and better student relation, it only makes sense for districts to adopt this practice. Imagine the effect it would have on the lives of students who no longer would need to worry about being bullied and harassed. Consider the benefits to not only students but also to society if we could help reduce graduation dropouts. School uniforms are a simple solution to some of school's biggest problems. This is not an investment we can afford to ignore. Notice I didn't add any new information in the conclusion paragraph. I only summed up my thesis and my key points. Okay, so that is the breakdown of the essay, and at this point, depending on if your teacher has these slides in your workshop, you can move the boxes to see how you did. Did you catch that this is the hook? And did you catch that these are transitions? Did I miss anything? If I did, maybe think about what I might have missed. So you can go through these slides and, and see how you did when you analyzed your essay. And that, my friends, is all there is to it. You are completely ready to build your own essay. So that concludes this segment of argumentative essay writing. I'll see you in the next video where we will take all the pieces of the essay that you have put together and put them together in their final form. And I'll see you in the next video. Once again, if you found this video on YouTube, you can find a link to the workshop in the descriptions. And happy teaching and happy learning.